Well, hello everyone. Today I'm going to walk you through a quick little project I did, which was to reface or put on a new faceplate for a Dynaco Stereo 150. Give you a quick glimpse in the background there. Don't want to give you away too much. Basically, what I had was the old faceplate, which was a pretty poor shape. So I decided that instead of going with that and making it and having it look, in rough shape, I decided to renew the faceplate and turn it into a woody faceplate. So this video is going to describe how I went about it. So hope you enjoy this quick little DIY experience. And if you have one of these amplifiers, it makes it look really good. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Thank you. So here's the first part of the faceplate rebuild for the Dynaco. And so what I did was I modeled this Dynaco logo. I just scanned it and then I extruded it into 3D on Tinkercad and a couple of other programs that I used to do that, and made up a couple of this was a PLA change from black to white. So I've got two good ones to work with, two good little graphic logos, and that will be the logo on the front of the faceplate. You can see the amplifier without the faceplate on it, and basically it's just two rails here that it slides into once it's complete. And I've sent this one off to a person I'd met online and in Australia, and I'm just going to rebuild another one for my own Stereo 150 amplifier. So I guess this will be a before picture. So this is what the amplifier faceplate looked like when I first got it. And as you can see, this just basically slides out. And it's just two pressboard things on a back plate of, I think it's aluminum. And, you can see how marked up and scarred and everything it is. So I wanted to do something nicer. So this project is centered on turning that on top of that into that. So what follows is how I get from here to there, and hopefully you will get a feel for how easy it is to do. And of course, you can go with any colors or any type of wood grain that you like. This is walnut, so I did a walnut veneer. So these were MDF boards that I made side panels of, and I just bought some walnut veneer and stained it in walnut, dark walnut, and then I varathaned it to give it some a protective coating. So you can see the screws and everything where I had to unscrew everything. And this project is basically showing you how to go from there to there. So thanks for watching. So what I've done is I've brought out my table saw here. Nice DeWalt little construction site table saw that I use. And what I've done is put a fine blade on, just because I'll be cutting into a sheet of very fine veneer. And I use this to measure the fence from the blade, and that way I'll know I'll get a good fit for the faceplate for the Dynaco that I'm making a wood replacement for. And there's my sheet of walnut plywood, or walnut veneer. It's not really plywood, it's just very, very fine veneer on a backboard. And this is the stuff I've used, so I'm just making a replacement one. It's very easy to do. And then once I get it cut out, I will stain it and varnish it just to keep the good wood grain nice and popping, and also to provide a measure of protection so it doesn't get any moisture damage or anything like that. And then once I've cut it to the width, then of course I'll measure it this way and cut the length pieces. And I'll probably make about 3 or 4 pieces just in case. And then that way I can pick the nicest finished piece and make that as the faceplate for my stereo 150 amplifier. And I will show you a finished product on completion. So won't film the cutting, but you get the picture, and I'll just show you the pieces in a few little snippets after this. As always, when you're cutting, make sure puppy is well away, but as soon as I fire it up, she'll skedaddle. Also wear good gloves and eye protection when you're using power tools. So now I've just finished cutting them, and I picked out a couple of pieces that I like. I particularly like the grain on this one, similar to my other one. And then I've got a horizontal grain. I also like the horizontal grain ones. So I'm sort of mixed emotions. And I've also got 2 extra strips here just in case. And if anybody ever needed another one, see, I've got another nice green piece there that I can make out of. So I've got some spares just to back myself up in case I botch anything. But at this point, all it is really is just staining and varnishing, and then putting the cool little graphics on. So there you have it. Very easy job. I'll show you the finished product once I'm done. So here's the stain that I had selected previously, and I just want to make sure it has the same stain as the side pieces that I veneered on the amplifier. So here's the Old Masters penetrating stain, and it's in dark walnut. And there are the pieces that I will be staining. So I'll do a quick shot of what it looks like with the stain on, and then I'll let it dry for the appropriate amount of time, and then I will put a bunch of coats of veneer on it, or varnish, I mean. There you have it. And there you have it. There's with 1 coat of stain on it. And oh, it just pops. So we let that dry for about 5 minutes, then we wipe off the excess, and then let dry for 4 hours. And then we will put a layer of, start putting some varathane on top, just to put on a protective coating. And then after I do the protective coating, I'll put on the logo. So there you have it. Very easy little way of tricking out your amplifier. And there we have it. 1 coat of varathane. Helmsman Minwax is what I'm using, or urethane I should say. And that's what I used previously. You can see it's still a little bit wet and starting to dry in some spots. And we'll let that sit for a couple hours, sand it down with 220 grit, and then apply another layer, and then that should be good. Really nice finish. It is wet still, so it is a little reflective. And we'll see how that turns out. All right, next phase is I've done the last coat of varathane or urethane on it, and got my Dynaco printed out, and I use a raft around it just to make it print better. So I got to trim that down. That's why I got the X-Acto knife and some cutters over here. And then I measure a distance in. That's why I got the ruler. Distance up, it's 30 centimeters by 15. And then that'll be perfectly off to the right-hand side to match the other amplifiers that I've done. And then, of course, I use these for placing the lettering once I've trimmed it all out. And then I use some crazy glue to glue them down. And I use a little bit of a pencil, so I mark the bottom right corner just with a dot. Then I know where my start position is and my end position is, and from there I just kind of eyeball it and make sure it's straight. And I kind of use this as a straight edge to make sure that the lettering is correct. And there you go. I can't record while I'm doing this, don't have my tripod handy, but I'll do the surgery and report back when I got her done. Mission complete. Now I've got the Dynaco in place. I put a big drop of crazy glue on the smooth kind of paper, and then I use these tweezers to basically put them in place. And now all I have to do is let it dry, and it should be good to go. So hopefully this turns out good, and we'll put it in the amplifier, and you can see side by side what it looks like with the other amplifier. And there we have it, the finished product. And you can see that it's a little bit more shiny than the old one, but that's because this is probably about, I don't know, 7 or 8 months old. And that one is still kind of off-gassing right now and drying. But as you can see, we got 2 beautiful faceplates on the stereo 150s. Now, one thing to note is that some of these amplifiers, I think they were made at different eras, because as you can see, the power indicator light on this one is a square bar, which has got a blue sort of a background to it. And this one, instead of having the square cutout with just the words stenciled over top, this one is power is etched in it with a blue backing, and when you turn it on, you can actually see the lights glow. See? And then when you turn this one's not plugged in, but same thing happens, but instead of the power lighting up, it's just the square. So an interesting difference between, I guess, model years on this same amplifier. Other than that, everything else inside, they're both the PC36 based amplifiers, not the 43s. But yeah, I'm very, very happy with the way it turned out. And this way I've got sort of matching a green pattern that you can see there, which I kind of like. Anyway, I'm very happy with how it turned out. I've got a second one that's up in the garage. It's I just have to put the lettering on. I've got another set of letters, so I can go with a straight line affair, or I can go with the patterned ring lines on the walnut. So there you have it, finished product. Very happy with how it turned out. And now I think for those folks out there that have these amplifiers, if you've got a big scratched up faceplate like the ones I have, I've actually got 2 of these, and this is the better of the 2. So I wanted it to look a lot nicer, and I think it does. So thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, drop me a line, PM me, or put a note below. I try to get back to all my comments on my YouTube videos. So please don't be shy. Thank you.